Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. In today's video, we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action, a couple of interesting charts, and of course a couple of interesting tweets and charts for alts too. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video isn't a financial advice. You should do your own due diligence and research before investing into any crypto project. And now, without any further ado, let's hop into Kaspa itself. So as we can see over here, Kaspa is currently trading at 16 cents of a dollar and is currently experiencing a leg down of 3.2% in the last 24 hours. As we can see over here, market cap is currently sitting at 3.7 US dollars and 24-hour trading volume is sitting at 40,445,000 USD. So obviously that chart doesn't necessarily look very interesting on 24-hour time frame. However, that is obviously just a healthy pullback in my opinion, but we are going to get into that very quick. So let's first of all have a look at this tweet over here. So finishing off the night with some Kaspa. So there is another meetup going on with Mr. Sompolinsky, so that's always good to see. And as we can see over here, there is a bit of a funny photo of one of the members, but obviously that is good that we see the founder of Kaspa pretty much on these events. That is very, very bullish thing in my opinion. So now let's note one thing. Kaspa is fully decentralized proof-of-work layer 1 network with no pre-mine. Kaspa was fair launched, meaning anyone could mine from the launch of the empty Genesis block. Uniswap is an ERC20 token, which 40% of the initial mining is going to team members, investors, and advisors. So you see, this is a very powerful thing about Kaspa, that fair launch, right? Whenever we are investing into any crypto project, that's something that we want to see, the fair launch of the crypto. So obviously that's very fair with Kaspa. But in Uniswap, it's very likely that we could basically see a much bigger manipulation because of that launch that wasn't really fair. Lots of Uniswap was allocated to people, to insiders pretty much. So that is something to keep in mind with, okay? And now let's have a look at this thing over here. Kaspa is the 27th largest crypto with market cap of $3.8 billion, and it saw 91,600% growth since its launch in November 2021. So that's big. Obviously there is so many use cases over here, but obviously what I'm going to point out, you can definitely pause the screen and read all of these features of Kaspa, but definitely what I want to point out is one more time that fair launch that is so close to BTC. That is beautiful in my opinion about Kaspa. And now let's have a look over here. First of all, shout out to Miko Geno on Twitter. So he is very bullish on Kaspa as well. I'm not the only person too. So because of Caspian's rapid emission schedule, the S2F value rapidly increases. Under this model, Kaspa will be $1 million by 2031. Well, I do think this is a little bit too bullish, especially given the fact that BTC haven't reached $1 million. So that's the first thing. So what I'm going to say about that is that first, let's see BTC reaching $1 million, and then we are going to talk about Kaspa, okay? However, the power law model predicts a more conservative $80 by 2031. I believe that's very reasonable prediction, around $80 by 2031. All right, now let's have a look at this chart over here that's also made by Miko Geno, so shout out again. And now, as we can see over here, if we are going to follow that prediction over here, pretty much on the 2026 we will see Kaspa at $10. So I'm not sure if you are following all of my updates on Kaspa, but I was basically drawing the same trend line on my trading view, and that's pretty much the same model over here, right? So if we are going to follow that trend line over here for Kaspa growth, the $10 is easily achievable. But right, let's have a look here. This is how you should be viewing the Kaspa chart. So this is where we are at pretty much in terms of, you know, investment. This is how early we are. This is pretty much the time of 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas, right? This is, I would say, the similar level. But right, let's have a look finally at some numbers, okay? So the current reward for Kaspa is 131, the next one is going to be 123, and the next reduction is going to be in 11 days. So Now let's have a look at the belief in Kaspa in general. As we can see over here, that's addresses holding over 100,000 Kaspa. So that is very bullish, and obviously let's see what is going on ever since August last year. As we can see over here, that grows exponentially. Of course, there are some dips in terms of holders because obviously people are withdrawing some profits. However, I do believe they are buying back, obviously, because Kaspa is a beast, in my opinion, not a financial advice, of course. And as we can see over here, at the moment, there are around 18,000 addresses that are holding over 100k Kaspa. So obviously that is very bullish thing. And now let's finally have a look at Kaspa's chart. So the first thing to point out, okay, Kaspa is perfectly respecting that trend line over here, and it never dropped below that. So that's the first thing. And second, as we can see over here, that is pretty much healthy that Kaspa is basically retracing a little bit after that huge pump over here, and I do believe that we might see around 15 cents of a dollar, which obviously is going to be a beautiful buying opportunity. And why do I believe that? Well, let's first of all have a look what BTC is doing. As we can see over here, BTC on a weekly time frame is being rejected from that resistance level over here at $52,700 roughly. And obviously that is very, very important resistance level for BTC, with confirmations over here that are leading us back to the previous bull cycle. So obviously, given the fact that we are still early in terms of the halving, well, there are around 2 months left, we could see that pullback over here. I'm not saying that we are going to see a huge pullback over here on BTC. That's more unlikely at the moment, given the fact that there are huge inflows that are coming into BTC in terms of ETFs. However, I could say that we could see BTC at, let's say, 48,000. That would be healthy, right? And obviously in that condition, Kaspa is going to draw a little bit. So obviously the first target is going to be the previous all-time highs for Kaspa, which are 15 cents of a dollar. Then second target would be 14, right? And then probably by the time we are going to be supported by the trend line over here. And then the third level, I would say probably is going to be 13 cents of a dollar. But obviously, I hope that you are guys not going to panic, because obviously that is going to be a beautiful opportunity in that area over here to accumulate some more Kaspa. And just in case if you will be saying, yeah, but why would I really gamble and wait for the pullback? Well, I'm not saying that I'm waiting for the pullback. I'm saying if that is going to happen, that is going to be a beautiful opportunity to scoop up some more Kaspa at better price levels, right? Of course, buying here, of course, is, in my opinion, is going to be a profit longer term for Kaspa anyways. However, is better to definitely be on green more often rather than being on red. And now guys, if you will be interested into keeping your Kaspa safe, make sure that you check out the Tangem wallet. So basically you have two options. You can have 2 cards or 3 cards, it's totally up to you. And basically Tangem could be your storing solution for Kaspa, and that is definitely much safer to store Kaspa outside of exchanges on which anything might happen. And of course, Tangem doesn't only support Kaspa, it supports many other crypto projects, so that is very good solution, and their chip is very, very safe. So if you can check it out, the link is in the description down below of this video, and with my code you can receive 10% off. So I do believe that is a good deal. All right then, and now let's finally have a look at the charts themselves. So first of all, shout out to Titan of Crypto on X. And now altcoins, it's time to shine. Gaussian channel flipped green, price exceeding the Gaussian channel, pullback and consolidation, breakout of the range. So alt season is knocking at the door. So as we can see over here, first things first, 2016, as we see over here, when we flipped a green over here and we had that breakout over here, this is what we experienced in 2016-2017 bull cycle. And now the previous bull cycle in 2021, right, we had that breakout right after we flipped the green over here. And this is exactly where we are at right now. We just flipped green. We have this little consolidation in which we might stay for, let's say, a few weeks, but whatever. You know, it's pretty much obvious what is going to happen in coming months. So that's the first thing. And now let's have a look at this chart over here. Altcoin season is imminent. Alt's market cap has flipped the midline of the Dawn chain just a few weeks back, and it's slowly grinding up and holding the upper line of the channel. So as we can see over here, the same thing, right? So this is when it flipped over here. In the previous bull cycle, we had this huge parabola for alts, and now the same thing over here. We had the flip, and obviously this is where we are at now. So obviously the target over here will be around 4 trillion USD, which is very reasonable in my opinion. And now let's have a look at this. Shout out to Mr. L Crypto Prof on X. Altcoins are repeating the 2014-2018 cycle, is just taking longer time. A strong indication that the big wave is yet to come was yesterday. At least 80% of X was super bearish again. So the first things first, right? If more people are very bearish, and basically we are going to see that parabola, that means that the FOMO is yet to come, in my opinion, right? Because people are still a little bit bearish on altcoins and all of that, but basically what this chart represents is that I believe this is not a time to be bearish. But all right, let's have a look at the previous bull cycle over here, 2016-2017. So we had this impulse wave 1, which we have experienced already over here in current bull cycle. Then we had the mid correction. We have mid correction over here as well, right? Which obviously is much bigger. So that can indicate that bull cycle is going to be much bigger as well. But then obviously if we are going to go back to the previous bull cycle 2014-2018, we see that huge impulse wave 2. And now if we are going to look over here, we are just before that huge impulse wave 2, which I believe is going to be much more legendary than 2014-2018. But right, if that wouldn't be enough, let's have a look here. So the ADX and DI indicator have made a bullish cross. So we already seen the same scenario in 2020. As we can see over here, that long-term resistance over here flipped as a support in the previous bull cycle for alts, right? So this is where we are at now, right? Exactly the same thing. Wyckoff accumulation, right? Disbelief and all of that. This is the beautiful time, in my opinion, to buy over here. And now we are exactly in the same place over here. So we are just weeks before the huge parabola for alts. This is what I believe, not a financial advice, of course. And now if we are going to look at this over here, altcoins market cap breaking out of the reaccumulation phase into expansion. So all of these charts are pretty much suggesting the same thing, guys, all right? And over here we are pretty much seeing a target of around 4 trillion USD. So imagine what kind of prices that is going to put Kaspa in. That would be very beautiful to see Kaspa anything between $5 and $10. But yet, I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to say, some of you, that I'm crazy saying that Kaspa could hit these numbers. But heck, let's see. Alright then, that's it in today's video. Thank you very much for watching the quick Kaspa update, and I wish you having a great day. Peace and love, crypto.